Hariom. Today, after a certain period of time, I watched a South Indian Hindi dubbed movie. The name is Maaveeran. This movie was released in 2023 July, and I watched it on today, December 2025. And this movie is like a manga story, a comic books, Japanese comic books we read. So it kind of they show us like that, or an anime story if you know. And basically, it is a typical South Indian story, but with the way they show it, it is like a comic book. Especially, actually, they show the reference as well in the story. They start the movie with the comic book story. Then they reveal that whoever hero is Satya, our protagonist in the movie, he is writing that story about hero Veer. He saves the people here and there. Okay, and so story goes on, and in the whole story, uh, our protagonist Satya in the movie, he used to write comic books and actually design it as an artist and then sell it. But he was being thugged by some other person who used to work in a press, and later it got revealed and that person got fired and Satya got the job. And on the other side, he also lost his land where he was living in the slum area, and all the people who were living in that area, they got offered by the local government a few buildings with flats, but the conditions of those buildings were very poor, about electricity, water supply, construction of the building, the land which was muddy, like not muddy, I don't know what to call it, like a farmland it was earlier, so not suitable for construction work, like any building work actually, for residents especially, and not at least before working on it somehow. Okay, anyway, that was the thing about the building and so on and all. So how Satya used to write the design the his comic. Okay, later the person who got fired because of Satya, he threatened him that I got fired because of you, I will not like leave you, and like life threat he gave him. So Satya decided to resign so that he can save himself, because the our protagonist, he was a coward. Why? Yeah, exactly, he was a coward. At least they showed it in this way. Okay, what the reason was for him to be a coward. His father, he was a fighter, not that fighter, but he was a common man who fought against the system somehow. It is not mentioned in the story, in the movie, like how exactly and who and what he did. It is just mentioned that he was a common man who fought against the system for the people, for the common people. Okay, but the people didn't do anything to him and he got killed, his father. Okay, that is why his mother was most of the time angry, but still she wanted to do good for the people, for themselves, and a strong lady his mother was, is in the story, in the movie. But he on the other hand is very careful so that he doesn't want to get into any mess, any kind of mess with the people, with any kind of power people or common people. So he adjust with the things anyhow, in like in everything overall in the movie. And yeah, so when anyway, so then he decided to end his writing his comic book, because he got threatened and resigned. And that is why he decided to end the story, his comic story, by killing his protagonist Veer. Okay, and later at one night somehow things happen and he uh, gets like he actually fall from the building. Okay, and he died for 1 second or point milli 1 second, he died in the movie. And then he woke up suddenly, and since then there was a voice inside, from his ear but inside his brain. It is a divine voice that has been shown in the movie. Then from there it helps to our protagonist Satya to go on, and it guides him like what you need to do and so on for further. Okay, but he was still a coward, and there after a while I started hating him, because just imagine you have a divine voice in your, and you are hearing that, as an cultural Indian person. Just think about it. You have any favorite god of yours, and you have voice of him or her in your head. Okay, and he or she is guiding you. How lucky you are. You should be very much courageous, very much brave, very much powerful overall. Okay, but he was still a coward. That is why I started hating him. But then later things happened further, and the voice was instructing him, the divine voice, and that is how he was doing. But he was coward right now even more. Why? Because he knew that things are exactly happening how he ended his comic story. It means that he will also die, as he made his hero in the comic story died. That is why he was more afraid. But at one fight in the movie, he decided uh, to fight for the people by his own. So he lost the divine voice for a while, but he again got it. Okay, I will not say everything, but he got it again. And then one time when he was fighting, so that divine voice used to instruct him what is going on now. Even if he's not looking behind, something is going on, so he used to like catch it, a rock or anything, a stick or a punch. Okay, stop him. So that time also in that fight, the divine voice was guiding him to fight. But this time he was not listening to that divine voice. Instead, he was fighting by his own. And there, that time I felt, yeah, okay, now at least they are showing it. I was waiting for that to happen for the protagonist. That is why you will call him a protagonist. Otherwise, you will also feel irritated by him and kind of hate him in a way. Okay, yeah. And since then, I felt okay, yeah, finally now. And there, that divine voice said to him that, in Hindi it said that, Veer. That divine voice used to call him Veer. Why? Because his comic story, in there also, the protagonist, the hero name was Veer. So that divine voice said that, अब वीर जो था वो वो कायर नहीं रहा. अब उसने अपनी समथिंग लाइक दैट कि उसने अपनी ज़िंदगी को त्याग दिया औरों के लिए, और बाकी मतलब बाकी लोगों के लिए. So that was the meaning of what he was understanding, that we died. And then that voice said, अब वीर महावीर बन चुका था. So later in the story also, at the last, he lost his skill, like listening power as human, but still he used to listen to that divine voice. It was shown. So amazing story, creativity level like up, 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 and so high. I loved the story, and I felt emotional, funny, very funny, and so much involved and indulged in the story that I actually forgot. I was doing certain other things also while watching the movie, but I didn't care about it, and I just finished them as well. But very amazing story, and I loved it actually a lot. Yeah, well, that is the movie I watched today, and I really wanted to share it. Yeah, I think that is all in the movie. Let me know if you want to share about it. Thank you.